Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we are going to talk about Litecoin and how the rally for Litecoin continues amidst the sea of crypto downturn. None of the content is financial advice. Let's get started. The way you can interpret the current rally for Litecoin in midst of the crypto pullback, you can see over here over the last 24 hours. This is again the on website cryptoweeklies.com. This chart is available under heat map. You don't have to pay or sign up for anything. It's all available for free without any ads. So if you like this content, please give us a like and subscribe to stay updated on this kind of analysis. Over the last 24 hours, Litecoin took the charge. Over the last 7 days or so, Litecoin again has had a slight downturn over the last 30 days as well, number 2 spot, and over the last 90 days rallying at around 18%, whereas the wider crypto market in per this barometer is largely flat, or over the last 24 hours or over the last 7 days it has gotten beaten down again in 30 days as well as over the last 90 days. So you can check it out over here as well. On this is coin market cap. Most of the cryptos again down 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, whereas Litecoin again up across the 3 time period. Market cap slightly under 10 billion. By market cap it's ranked number 12th, and slight difference in market cap relatively speaking with respect to the number 11th spot and the number 12th spot. So again could be number 11th if the rally continues. In terms of tokenomics, almost 90% of the max supply for Litecoin is in circulation. So that means going forward, any token inflation eating up market cap growth would be minimal from this point in time. Again, none of the content is financial advice, but again you can see over the last 1 year or so, this is the price chart, and if you toggle between the price chart and the market cap chart, you would find that essentially price and market cap chart reflect the same kind of chart. That means whatever growth happens in market cap gets reflected back in price. Right now price for Litecoin is at around $130. We'll be using our machine learning model to conduct the price forecast for Litecoin, starting with again on this chart. On this website we do have Litecoin BTC and Litecoin ETH pair based forecast as well. We'll just briefly cover how Litecoin is doing with respect to Bitcoin. Has been forming a series of lower highs and lower lows. Again, that's typical for any major cryptos. If it survives multiple cycles, usually they eventually underperform Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin right now it consists of almost slightly under 2/3 of the entire market cap of crypto. So you can see over here the market cap of crypto is 2.86 trillion, out of which Bitcoin is 1.7 trillion itself. Again, slightly under 60% dominance for Bitcoin. So that again you can see over a period of time Litecoin does underperform Bitcoin, but you can see in the midst of the bull runs again. So for example in 2018 or in 2021 there was a slight rally to the upside on its Bitcoin pair. If 2025 presents these kind of rallies again, even in late bear market territory, Litecoin did outperform Bitcoin in 2022, if you see from June bottom till December bottom. Now again those valuations are out of scope for Litecoin in any time in the future. Again, it has not put a new high, but nonetheless if we are looking for a new like if we have the hypothesis that Litecoin can put out double bottom against Bitcoin sometime again in summer of 2025, and then a rally from that point in time, the forecast in that scenario from the current valuation at 0.001, it can do a 2.5x on its Bitcoin pair. And if Bitcoin does a 2.5x, 2.5x on a 2.5x would put Litecoin somewhere over here. You can roughly do this evaluation over here. If let's say price of Bitcoin is 2.5 times of the current price, that is at around $85,000, that is at around 200k, and if Litecoin is worth at that point in time at around divided by 0.002, and if we divide this by 0.002, you will have a rough estimate of what Litecoin could be doing at this point in time. In that case, price for Litecoin, instead of dividing it, you have to multiply it. if the price of Litecoin in that scenario could be at around $4,600. Something is wrong. Oh no, we need one more decimal point. So $467 for Litecoin. In a scenario if it were to go to the range high on its Bitcoin pair, and if Bitcoin goes to its eventual peak, 2.5x, again if your hypothesis is only 50% higher for Bitcoin in this rally, then again that means only 1.5x from the current price at around slightly under 150k, then the price for Litecoin at that point could be at around, roughly speaking, at around $280 for Litecoin. For this market cycle, again on its USD pair, Litecoin went as high as about $134. So a $280 Litecoin would be about a 2x from the December 2024 high. For its own on its own USD journey, this is the machine learning based price forecast for Litecoin USD based on how Litecoin USD had been performing since the last 10 years or so, since 2014. Model trained on this price data. The bull case for Litecoin is price, again non-euphoria bull case for Litecoin, that one standard deviation or 68 percentile confidence is between $131 and $210 in the next 6 months. Again, if the rally takes more than that, you could easily see this expanding to at around $280. In an event that there is a parabola in the market, as we discussed, if Bitcoin goes to 2.5 over here times the current price, then the price for Litecoin could be around $460. So similarly, in this euphoria case with two standard deviation or 95 percentile confidence level, between $143 to about $312 in the next 6 months. And again, if this parabola continues for another, so from August till the end of year 2025, then prices could be at around $480 per this extension of this model. Right now, looking at the regression based analysis, the fair value for Litecoin per this analysis is coming in at around $128. So kind of close to the current price action, but this is not too concerning. This model helps identify when Litecoin is overvalued or undervalued. But typically in the post-halving years, like it did in 2017 and in 2021, the price have the tendency to not just overshoot the fair value polynomial regression line, but if we apply one standard deviation and two standard deviation residuals, again the tops eventually come close to the two standard deviation. At least in 2021 it did, but you can see that there is some diminishing returns with Litecoin. Again, in 2017 2018 market, the prices topped at around this red line, which is three standard deviations residual applied. In the last season or last bull run, it topped at around 2 standard deviation. If in this season, if it kind of tops at an average of these two, if these two residuals between, let's say in the next 6 months, right now they are at around 250 and 450. So averages out at around 350. So if in the next 6 months these again these lines have an increasing bias, so in the next 6 months they could, the one standard the average of these two could be at around $450 itself. So that is again one way to estimate what the top for Litecoin could be in terms of this risk based model. Again, this accumulation model based on 20-week, how the price is doing with respect to the 20-week simple moving average, and that's how the risk levels are identified again and normalized between 0 and 1. And if the hypothesis is to avoid DCA during the parabolic phases of the market to preserve capital, and with that hypothesis being that only to DCA when the risks are less than 20%, again this model helps establish in real time when the market presents that kind of opportunity where the risk levels are less than 20%. Not too long ago, again 3 days ago, when the price was at around $115, the risk levels were at the crescendo of the 20% risk level. Right now it's at around 26%. And if we look at this model for some forward looking guidance, moderate target for Litecoin in this bull run between $270, that is at 60% risk, between 60 and 80% risk at 300 between this $271 and $327. That's the target for Litecoin per this SMA model extended for the remainder of the bull run. If per the DCA model, which is takes into consideration the fair value polynomial regression valuation, and per this again similar hypothesis where DCAing at the phases where the price is not too overvalued again. Per this model, right now the risk levels at around Litecoin accumulation at around 7%. Per this model, if we look at some moderate targets for Litecoin between $280 and about $419 or $420, kind of close to that $450 range, which represents about 90% risk, between 85 and 90% risk. So that's one way to interpret the forecast for Litecoin. In terms of the time weighted average price, which helps identify the exact exact accumulation zone based on how the price is doing with respect to the time weighted average price, which is this blue line. Whenever the price in the bear markets are eventually down here, down below the blue line, that's where this model predicts a great time to buy. We were here not too long ago, again, as about first week of November of 2024, where at that time the price was at around $70, which was kind of close with the time weighted average price. Right now the time weighted average price is at around $70. So this current rally, or you can say the current valuation, represents about risk in terms of accumulation at around 47%. So all in all, if you are to estimate the price action for Litecoin and for the remainder of the bull run, and taking all of the models as an aggregate, the weighted risk is coming in at around 22%, estimated bull run peak at around $560. And if we take a conservative 80% of that, again 75 to 80% of this eventual bull run peak, that lands to that $450 Litecoin. And with that, I would like to conclude the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.